had was letters and words, and sentences, and paragraphs, and chapters, and books. Every letter was assigned a number. So every word had a number. Every letter had a number. Every sentence had a number. Every paragraph had a number. And they would write in exoteric language the message that they wanted you to get, and in there was encoded in numbers the esoteric meaning that only the adepts could decipher. They had to do this because they were oppressed by the kings, the queens, the church, the people. All hated these men. So they learned how to go underground, how to infiltrate, how to take over organizations, cities, states, governments, countries, and now they're going for the world. And they communicate in symbolism and gematria. And if you don't understand how to read those symbols and how to decipher the esoteric message written, hidden in the encoding by gematria, then all you get is the exoteric interpretation of an esoteric, what they consider truth, that's hidden. They call themselves the guardians of the secrets of the ages. Now, when the Arabs invented the numbering system, the numbers, then mathematics was developed. And that's why some of the greatest mathematicians of history, Pythagoras, is one of the revered men within the mystery schools. You go to any Masonic lodge, and you'll see references to Pythagoras all over the place, and other great mathematicians. They built, encoded all of the secrets that they knew within everything that they built. The pyramids contain all of the knowledge of the history of man, all the science that man knew, everything that he knew about the heavens, and astrology is all encoded within the architecture of the Great Pyramids. The Temple of Solomon was the next one that encoded up to that point everything that man had ever learned throughout his history, and it was guarded and held by the mystery schools. Then in churches and great cathedrals, and if you know how to decipher it, you could read the history of mankind to that point. What they believed in, what they didn't believe in, everything they knew about the stars and the heavens, everything they knew about mathematics, everything they knew about governments, everything is there. Whenever you see a building with a cornerstone with a number on it and the letters A.L. encoded in that building up to the date that that building was built was everything that man knew about himself, his world, and the heavens at that time. A.L. means Annos Luminous. It's a 6,000-year calendar that began in the year 4000 B.C. when a supernova occurred in the heavens and something fell to earth, which they called Lucifer. And man learned from that. And it ends in the year 2000. And in the year 2000 will be the end of the old world and the beginning of the new. This is what they believe, and this is what they are engineering. And unless we find out whether or not we want it and either stop it or join it, it will happen. Yes, sir?
A brief other question. Is it your perception that the people involved in these societies are the most intelligent and capable people?
No. They believe that they are. They are the most cunning people on the face of this earth. I will grant you that. And they are all races. They're all religions, exoterically. But esoterically, they do not believe in any God. They believe that man is God. They have no allegiance to any nation at all. They are sworn to the furtherance of the interests of the order and the completion of the great work, which is the formation of the New World Order and the deification of man. Yes.
Approximately how many people are we talking about?
I have no idea. These are secret societies. They have a pyramidal structure of organization. Don't go out of here and start beating up Masons. Most of them don't know anything about what they're a part of, and that's the reason for the degrees of initiation, and that's the reason why there's a whole bunch of them down here and only a few at the top. All of these in the organization down here are being directed by the few at the top, and the few at the top are the only ones who really know what's going on. Yes.
What would be the significance then in the state of Nevada with, I've seen this on every cornerstone, and I've never seen it in any other states like California or Oregon. I've seen AD and AL 2 days.
That means that you're living in a Masonic state. That means your state, if that's on every building in the state,
And Utah.
that this state,
And Utah.
Utah, the Mormon Church, and I'm not trying to beat up on any Mormon either. The Mormon Church was founded by 3 33rd degree Freemasons. And everywhere in the Mormon religion you will see Masonic symbology. And don't go out of here beating up on Mormons. Those people don't know this. Yeah.
My question is particularly personal because this is interesting information, I must say. My grandfather was a 33rd Freemason, and he was also a founding member of a big Baptist church, of which I was born and raised in, but ultimately my father broke away from it and went on to do his own thing.
Sure. You want to know how can you be a Freemason and be a member of the Baptist church? It's very simple.
He was no dummy. This guy.
The end justifies the means. In his community, if to further the interest of the great work, he had to join the Baptist church, that's what they will do. In 2 weeks, if they have to bomb the Baptist church, they will do that also.
This my grandfather did not have any ominous beginnings. He came from Mendon, Louisiana, from a poor dirt farm, but he ended up doing all this stuff.
That's okay.
And it's
He was one of the 1,000 points of light that George Bush talks about.
he managed to be pretty influential in our community.
33rd degree Masons are always influential in the community.
Then I have another conflict about the 33rd degree Mason. I met a guy who was our age, my age. He told me that he was a 33rd degree Mason, but it was just a matter of paying the dues to be one.
He is not a 33rd degree Mason.
I understand that.
Okay? And you also have to
I thought
understand...
that sounded a little weird. I said, you just don't become a 33rd degree Mason
No.
just because.
33rd degree Mason is a meritorious degree.
Right.
You have to be invited, and you have to go to Washington, D.C. for the initiation.
President Harry Truman was a 33rd.
My grandfather went to Moscow for the Test Ban Treaty signed. He was invited to that. He went and did a lot of stuff.
Notice what he said, Moscow. At the highest level, they all belong to the same club.
In 1966, he went over there and they signed the
The
Test Ban.
Cold War was a scam. The Soviet Union was created by the United States and London Freemasons and financed by banks in the United States and London. And the Rockefeller family has a branch of Chase Bank in the Kremlin that's been there since the beginning. There was never any financial collapse in the Soviet Union. It was time to bring about the New World Order. That's what everything that's happening in the world is about right now. The only thing standing in their way is the American people, 250 million of them with the right to keep and bear arms, and that's why there's such a concerted attack upon the Second Amendment. Because the only thing that can stop them now, today, is us. The minute we give up our guns, it's all over that instant. There is a joint resolution in Congress right now, H.J. 438, to repeal the Second Amendment. Do you get my drift?
What if anything can we do about that?
Pardon?
What if anything can we do about that?
Start kicking your congressman's ass and tell him he's a dead sucking duck if he passes it.
They ain't getting mine. They'll make mine work. So I'm dead.
Now, with the Soviet Union collapsed, let me ask you some questions here that you need to be thinking about.